Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the channel. My name is Craig. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure you do so. You can do so by clicking this little CS right here. Let's get into what's going on with MicroStrategy, Bitcoin, and traditional markets. We're going to take a look, obviously, first at traditionals. Dow Jones is pumping to new all-time highs, 460 points up as of the time of making this video. S&P down 25 points, and NASDAQ down 250 points. And of course, Bitcoin is dropping. How low will it go? We're going to talk about that. I'm going to show you where my trades are, so make sure you stick around for that. And let's get into it. All right, let's take a look at the DXY first. First off, headlines. Disney making $1 billion investment in OpenAI will allow characters on Sora AI video generator. Big deal. It's not a big deal to me. I don't know. They just wanted to put AI in a headline again. Canvassers have no room for error. How to make money if they start failing. CNBC. So somebody's mad at Canva maybe here, or Carvana. I'm sorry, that's not Canva. My mistake. It's Carvana. Before we begin, none of this is financial advice, guys. Let's get into it. Let's take a look at the DXY. DXY is dropping. It looks like it's dropping down to, it's going to make some more hidden bullish divergence here. This is on the daily, so I will be expecting a bounce here within the next week or so. We'll keep an eye on that. Also, gold pumping, not to new all-time highs again yet. It's possible, but as of right now, we are in a topping formation here. Not to say it can't go a little bit higher, but everything is screaming be careful, right? NASDAQ. So NASDAQ is not new all-time highs, but pretty far up here. I've showed you guys this stuff before, right? Over here is the dot-com bubble. Here is the 08 crash, and look at where we're at now. If you don't think something bad is coming for these markets, which could be good if you know how to short markets, right? This stuff is just, it's funny. So we did make another high here for the Dow, but guys, remember, we've been talking about this forever. It could go up to 55,000, but the losses, right? So most people, the average people, think this, you know, it's safe to just put your money in here and keep it in here forever. But the problem is when there are big crashes, right? We're looking at, this is relatively, you know, near past, not far into, but if we look at the right, we look back here at the Great Depression, you can barely see it now, but that was huge and it looked a lot like this, right? The thing about it was it took about approximately 30 years, maybe a little over, to get back to these highs once it dropped like 80%, right? So decades of gains will be lost for a long time. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in over here, right, into the Great Depression. And I just want this warning out there because I think it could get so ugly. People don't even have a clue of where this thing could go, right? So here's the 1929 crash. Let's take a look at how far. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to put up there. Let's take a look at how far this dropped. Don't forget, guys, I'm going to show you where my trade is, and you can join the trade group for free. Just go down to the comment section or the description of the video. Look for the Discord link. Click on that. That'll bring you in there, and it'll show you how to get in there, where I do tell you live when I get in and out of trades, where I put my stops, take profits, all that good stuff. Definitely check it out if you haven't. And before we go any further, make sure you guys check out BITUNIX, Prime XBT, Weeks, and Blowfin. Prime XBT, by far my favorite, because you can trade traditional markets and everything all from one exchange, along with crypto, Forex. And by signing up using my link, you get up to a $7,000 bonus. That's 30% deposit bonus. So whatever you deposit, they will match 30% of and put it in your account. So that'll be your bonus. All right, but anyways, this was a 90% correction, guys, or damn near, right? 90% correction, and look at that. Look at the losses. It leveled out to, let's see, where it was almost 100 years prior, right? But how long did it take to break this high? So from 1929 to 1954, 25 years, right? That's a long freaking time before they broke. So all the people up here lost till then. And they say it can't happen today because they can stop the markets and blah blah blah. One market they can't stop is Bitcoin, right? So they say. We'll see what happens there. They can stop certain exchanges like maybe Coinbase, something like that. But anyways, it's insane to think that this can continue up without coming down. Something big is coming. I don't know what it is. I don't know exactly when it is, but I know it's big. But the good thing is you can trade in the meanwhile and make tons of money. You don't have to stay in an asset to trade the markets, right? You can get in, get out. Even Bitcoin, you don't even have to buy Bitcoin to trade Bitcoin. So you can be on Prime XBT. You can short Bitcoin without even having Bitcoin. You can long Bitcoin without even having Bitcoin. You can use USDC. I show you that in my videos. Matter of fact, I'll leave a Prime XBT tutorial up top. You can check that out. Let's look at MicroStrategy or strategy. So this was the dot-com bubble. He played the same game. They played the same game in the dot-com bubble. It was horrible. It was a massive loss for them. And what was the markets doing? So we can go back to, let's shrink this back down, right? Here it was, the 2000 bubble, right? And you can see the markets dropped pretty bad, not nearly like it did back then, or like I think it's going to do now, like a 100-year cycle. But it was a hell of a drop, right? And what happened to MicroStrategy back then? Boom, that was the dot-com bubble. They were doing the same thing in the dot-com bubble as they're doing in the everything bubble with Bitcoin, right? Will it be the same exact thing all over again? It's very possible. Does that mean Michael Saylor personally loses? No, because he can play this play opposite of what he does in his personal play, because he doesn't have to report what he does in his personal play. Remember that, guys, and be careful and share this video to people that you think need to understand that. All right, let's take a look at Bitcoin. So here is our major support level right now, about 8,500. Actually, we're going to say 8,400 to be safe. Once that breaks, I think it could be a major downfall. I think that it's possible we get down to these lows, the 16,000, could even go below 10,000. I've showed you guys before, there is a gap down there, so be careful. If the traditional markets come down as hard as I think they do, Bitcoin will get to lows that people don't expect, in my opinion. But like I said, markets could still continue higher. We'll keep a close eye on this and see what's going on. But like I said, the beauty of it is you could trade the markets either way. It doesn't matter, right? In this time zone. So here is our weekly chart, right? Right here when we broke. The target of that is about 43,000. Your major support is on this 200 EMA about 67,000, right in that area. Unless it can break back above this 100,500. If it breaks above there and gets support, the new all-time highs could be coming all over again. But as long as we're below this, everything remains bearish, in my opinion. And one thing I want to point out is that Bitcoin lately, okay, this is the daily, only pumps on Sundays, and that's when MicroStrategy buys Bitcoin. So are they the only ones making Bitcoin go up? Is he playing this like just adding to the position, adding to the position? I don't know what their average cost is right now. I think it's around 74,000, something like that. But I think we're going to get below that here. Again, I could be wrong, but for those of the people, so all of a sudden people aren't talking about the 4-year cycle, right? The 4-year cycle has always played intact. Is it just over now? Because if it's 4-year cycle, Bitcoin has approximately 2 weeks to rally to a new all-time high. Otherwise, this is the top of the bull market. The bear market is still yet to come. And could it look something like this? And it very easily could, right? We might get a big rally into the end of the year for a wave 2 here, if this 5-wave structure ends up being a 5-wave Elliott wave count, and this 5 waves would be wave 1. Then we look for a ABC or a triangle correction, some kind of correction here for 2, then 3, 4, 5, right? Which could be multi-year bear market. Here is what we're looking at now. This is what I've been talking about. And again, guys, I'll show you guys my trade in a minute. Oh, we'll also look at Ethereum, XRP, Solana, and Solana and Cardano. Yeah, that's it, Cardano. We'll be taking a look at those same charts we've been watching, guys. Seem to be playing out beautifully. Remember, we've been looking at the big picture in that when everybody was screaming, you know, crazy numbers. But anyways, we'll take a look at that in a second. But could this be it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? We would have to move this 4 over here because it did get a little bit higher. Let's go like this. And right now we're looking at these fib levels. We got to move the fib levels just a bit. This one will be somewhere in here. This is in the midsection of the golden pocket zone. The 0.618 is actually at about 72.5. So just so you guys know, these would be where I'd be looking for the 5th wave to end, right, of the 5th wave structure, and that'd be wave 1. And then we look for an ABC correction or some sort of correction here back to the upside before continuing down. Here's some measurements we got, right? We looked at this as a possible bear flag, and if it breaks, the target there is about 51,000. But let's take another measured move here, just from here, right there, just the wedge itself, widest point of the wedge, and if, when, and where it breaks, and get us down to about 76.5. So that is really where I'm looking for. About 76.5 is a good area to look for. Let's say 77 to be safe for a take profit here. So all right, let's take a look at where I'm at. Ethereum is, again, hold on, I'm going to show you where that trade is. Ethereum, as long as it's below 38.5, is bearish. If it gets back above here into the neutral zone before 38 and 44, if it breaks this 4,500 again and gets support here, that would mean Bitcoin probably is doing the same. Markets are probably pumping really hard. A bunch of huge lies are coming out on the news and financial channels just to pump the markets. That's all that's been going on, guys. And if you look at reality, with the markets value going up, inflation, what hasn't gone up, right? Inflation. And if they keep lowering rates, it's just going to create more inflation, right? People are cheering for lower rates when all that is more inflation, guys, making it harder and harder for people to live. And if you look around to normal, everyday people, they are struggling so hard to make it right now. So how's the economy doing good? It's not. The economy is not doing good, in my opinion, at all. Hasn't been in a long time. And I think it's going to get a whole lot worse if they keep doing what they're doing. But anyways, there's Ethereum. You guys know my targets for Ethereum down at these levels. If you look right here, we are making some massive hidden bearish divergence from this high to this high. And if we bring it up here, same thing, this high to this high, massive hidden bearish divergence. We also got rejected, if you watched the last video, on the 200 EMA, where we expected about 3,500 or close to it. And I think we're going to be heading back down towards these lower targets. XRP, same thing, guys, hanging around that $2 level. Once this breaks, let's take a look at the RSI. Is there any indication of anything here? Not really. Keep a close eye on this RSI here, guys. But you guys know my targets here, about $1.20, all the way down to 48 cents, possibly lower. We'll keep an eye on that. Solana, 27. That's still my target here, guys. It's been for quite some time. We did get back in the channel here, but it did not hold. So we're going to continue looking for this low down here. And Cardano, that was Solana, I'm sorry. Cardano, remember I said this was the resistance. If we'd make it up there, look for a rejection at the 55 EMA around 51 cents. It did not make it. It is continuing to drop here. We may make, keep an eye on this RSI, draw this trend line. We may get a bounce here, right? Making a lower low here, but a higher low here, and get another bounce up to retest this area. So that's something to watch for. It is currently 41 cents. Wow, Okay, you guys ready to see my trade? Click like if you're ready to see it. Hit that thumbs up. Also, leave your comments throughout the video. If something strikes you, let me know in the comments. I do respond to comments. And don't forget, check out our sponsors, BITUNIX, Prime XBT, Weeks, and Blowfin. BITUNIX, Weeks, and Blowfin. No KYC needed. Prime XBT, you could trade traditional markets, gold, silver, oil, S&P, Dow Jones, Forex, crypto. They have added a ton of crypto on there. They didn't used to, years ago, they didn't have much crypto. They have hundreds of crypto on there now. So definitely check them out. Let's look at the trade. Currently, we are up. Let me show you here. 426%, $51,000 in profit. If you guys have been watching in the Discord trade group, make sure if you're in the Discord, you join the trade group inside the Discord. It's still free right now. Links down below. Check it out, guys. Thanks again for tuning in, and I will see you in the next one.